Welcome in. Everybody get in here. We got a show today. We've got a show. Morning, everybody. Not doing no post-race show. Yeah, we got some stuff to cover. I'll go over it at the end. We might run a little long. Two great weeks left. Yeah. We've got some let's go over some race stuff here first. Jets money line today. Yikes. Yep. The news is true. And yes, of course, I'm going to make you wait till the end. We got to show. Hey, we're still betting today's race. I've got a bet today. Only one so far, but let's get this pulled up. Who cannot win? If you guys are waiting for me to say Ryan Blaney's going to win today, that's not going to happen. I don't even think Ryan Blaney finishes on the lead lap. And if I had any stones at all, I would fade the hell out of him across the board. But first things first. The last pull. It's been a fun ride. You know, I guess Michael Jordan retired more than once for gambling reasons. It's kind of funny. But I'm doing it the opposite. I'm retiring because I can't gamble anymore. Well, I can. It's just harder. Happy race day. I've got a big boy. This is a 6.5% cider, and I've got two of them. So happy race day. Taking a pull. I got a freshly full glass to drink out of, so I can drink a little faster. And we can. I'll be a little buzzed when I get to the stuff. We get blackout. That's funny. Okay, William Byron. Price is the favorite and probably should be. Looked phenomenal in practice. Maybe one or two cars looked as good as him, but hard to argue with the speed and consistency of that 24 car. And when they made adjustments, they came out awesome. I think the 24 is going to be in the mix all day. The 24 is going to be in the mix all day long. Now, I was chatting with Ryan Stevens earlier. He brought up a good point about how a pole winner hasn't won since 2013. Is that true? Yeah, I think that Byron's going to be a bitch all day. If you don't have him on your card, it's going to be a long day watching that guy, because I don't know who's going to pass him in the first 40 or 50 laps. So, yeah, we'll get to Bubba. Ty Gibbs. Very spotty. I think Ty's going to drop. So, I think that, it was a good qualifying for him. If he keeps track position, I'm sure he'll be fine. If he ever loses it, he's never getting back up there. That's for sure. Kyle Larson. I've seen a lot of love for Larson, and if anyone, if you've watched this show over the years, has love for Kyle Larson, it's probably me. And I'm going to say right now, he was good in the short run, but long run left a lot to be desired. He looked like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you compare him to Bowman, let's see. Bowman was in group. Where's Bowman? Why do I not? Anyway, he looked, of the guys that are still in the hunt, he looked the worst, in my opinion, of the Hendrick cars. Oh, Alex Bowman. Yeah, Bowman even may have looked better. Larson, yeah. I don't like Larson today. I think he's going to fall off in the long run. Joey Logano. Good on the short run, terrible in the long run. I think Penske has some serious stress today. When I say not good on the long run, I mean real bad on the long run. Real bad on the long run. So I don't know how they get that fixed. It's almost like at lap 30, there's a flip that switches and he's trash. And it's pretty consistent across the board. The exception, Josh Berry was a little better, but when Larson is a 10th off, does it matter? So, Racing Wrestling fan, I think there will be a little bit more passing today. There was more lap time variance this week than in the past. If I can probably go. There was more lap time variance here. So, I think that there will be a little bit more passing. Usually it came after lap 80, but I do think that it will be at lap like 60 this time. I'm hoping lap 60 you're starting to see guys fall off and good guys come to the front. Yeah, exactly, Brian. This is the thing with Logano. Didn't look great in practice, but he got there. He did what he needed to do in qualifying. He's got a good pit stall. He's going to be hard to pass. If he loses his track position, it's going to take a Hail Mary to get it back because I don't think he can drive back through the field. But if he just stays up there, he'll be around. Maybe they take 2 tires at the end and try to pull something off. Who knows? So that's my thoughts exactly with Logano. I agree with Brian. Denny Hamlin said that they're going to have to take care of that left rear, meaning Denny's going to be good. I think his odds at 6-1. I think that's a good price. I'm not sure if he's still 6-1. That's kind of what he opened. Yeah. I think Denny's going to be very, very good. He looked good in practice. The only car there's 2 cars that maybe looked better than him, but man, he ran some pretty good laps late in the run. Yeah, saying I agree that they started deep, but Blaney looked way better in practice last year than he did this year. And comments on the radio in practice echoed the same thoughts. So usually when the lap times match with what they're saying, you got a problem. So yeah, and if Denny likes his car and he's locked in, Denny's okay. The 11 team can look forward to Phoenix, and Denny can still win this race. Yeah, Logano versus Byron. Yeah, maybe. But Larson will be chasing stage points. 24, 11, and 9 today. If that was your card, I would say you are sitting pretty damn good. The radio panic was just in the long run from Penske, and it was more on the 11. I wasn't listening to the 22. Denny's starter issues. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about cars, Ross. That would be if someone, I don't know if there's someone on here that knows a lot about how that might affect Denny's day. Yeah, and Nigel, I agree. Denny cares more about winning than anyone. But I don't know. If anyone knows if that starter is going to be an issue, I have no idea. I don't think so. But man, I don't know. I've been wrong before. Yeah, the red flag would be an issue. Cole Custer, how the hell did he qualify there? That's interesting. He was not good. I anticipate him to fade. Do we need to talk more about Cole Custer? Kyle Busch. This was an impressive qualifying. He was the top qualifier from Group A and pretty solid. And for those of you that have been Kyle Busch used to be really good here. And I don't think he's going to be really good today, but this is, if you're a Kyle Busch fan, or you want to bet on Kyle Busch, I would say okay today, but man, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Like that guy, he used to be awesome here. He used to dominate races, but I just don't see that happening. 3-1 for a top 10. Yeah, that's a long day. You laddered Kyle Busch. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be entertaining. It'll be entertaining. Chase Elliott. This is one of the cars that I think could be as good or better than Denny Hamlin. He was phenomenal in the long run. The one thing that it doesn't bother me too much that the adjustments he made was not the adjustments they made were not good, but I think that they can just go back on those adjustments, right? So, I think Chase Elliott is going to be real good today. Anyone, if you got him at 10-1 early in the week, that is a phenomenal bet. This has been one of his very best tracks. I think he's going to be one of the guys to beat. It's Byron, Chase, and Denny up front, and then there's one guy that I like starting a little bit further back. Chase Briscoe looked real bad in practice. I think this 19 team, after what I've seen, is just gonna they're on to next week. They have a real good chance. Next week, I think. And I also want to let's just think about this. If you are Denny Hamlin and you're running down William Byron and Kyle Larson is going to point his way in, and you're Denny Hamlin, and if he wins, and if Hamlin wins, Byron's out and Bell's in. If you're Denny Hamlin, you don't pass William Byron if you want to win a championship. Your best chance to win a championship is if Chris Bell does not get in. Will Denny Hamlin go for a win? Would Denny Hamlin pass William Byron? I don't know. This is a great question. Will Denny Hamlin, would he pass William Byron to win this week at Martinsville if that meant getting Bell into the playoffs? I don't know. Denny has no chance at beating Bell at Phoenix. I don't think Denny Hamlin has any chance. I don't think Denny Hamlin has a chance of beating Chase Briscoe at Phoenix at all. Like, yeah, Denny didn't roll over at Phoenix or at Kansas. I know, but he wasn't locked in. But, Bell's a teammate. I don't know. If you're Denny Hamlin and you're running second and William Byron's going to get in and your competition is Briscoe, Byron, Larson at Phoenix, you're still not a favorite. Briscoe's the favorite. And then maybe Byron. I don't know. Briscoe's the favorite. If Bell gets in, or Blaney, who I don't think is going to get in. I don't like Blaney at all today. I don't think anyone touches Bell, and Bell's biggest competition is going to be the 19. It ain't the 11. So just, I don't know, something interesting to keep in mind. Because I do think that there's a chance that, we only saw 55, 60 lap runs out of the 24 and the 11. I do think that lap 80, 90, you're going to see the 11 be better than the 24. What if Elliott is in Byron's position? Same idea. I think Elliott could be better at Phoenix. He has been in the past. Briscoe plus 450 championship. I don't hate that. Hamlin looked phenomenal on the option tire at Phoenix. I mean, Nigel, you are a Chris Bell apologist. I expect you to take his side every time, and Bell was way better than Hamlin. I should know. I lost a ton of money on the race. Okay, let's get back to this. Chase Briscoe, I think that they're kind of moving on to next week. They qualified well. He'll hold track position, but if he loses it, he's done. Austin Cindric, not good on the short run, not good on the long run. I've seen some top Fords. I disagree. Yeah, that's my take on. I don't like Austin Cindric at all. Let's see. Cindric. Michael McDowell is probably the best in Group A, along with Josh Berry. If you like McDowell, they do say that the braking here is very similar to road courses. If that's the case, I like Michael McDowell. Yeah, Joey said that he thinks the Hendrick cars get in today. I do think that you're probably right. I think you're probably right. I mean, it has to be Larson. I don't know. Like, who's going to be better? I think Larson's a little bit better than Bell. So, yeah. And he's good. They're going to be racing each other. That's another reason why I don't like Larson's outright price. Just because I think if he's nestled in third and he's moving on, he's not going to try to pass anybody. Chris Bell, I did not think looked good. He's won here to get in, but that was on an alternate tire strategy, and that was kind of a foregone conclusion after the next caution. So didn't look good. Lots of fall off. Didn't like Chris Bell. I don't think that there's only Larson stress there, or there's no stress if Hamlin's out there kicking the shit out of everyone, which could happen. But I do think that early in the race, you're going to see Byron leading a lot of laps. Yeah, and Bell was real bad here last year, like real bad. I thought he was a shoo-in last year to advance, and I was wrong. So, and that was with help. Everyone was getting help, I guess. Ross Chastain, Rossi Poo. He ran a few good laps late, but I'm not interested in Ross today. Very blah. Very blah. Tyler Reddick. I don't trust Tyler Reddick at a track like this, but he looked damn good. He didn't have a ton of fire off speed, but he didn't fall off at all. And he actually kept it together for like 45, 50 laps. If you like Tyler Reddick, I would be okay with a Tyler Reddick play. I thought 23XI as a whole was awesome in practice. Yes, I would agree. Carson Hocevar. Where is Carson? This is not a kind of track where I like Carson. I feel like I like him at fast tracks. Or I guess bumper cars. If you want to justify a Hocevar bet, bumper cars is probably a good place. I bet Carson Hocevar is very fun to play bumper cars with. So, but I'm not sure. I don't even know where Hocevar, how he was in the spring. Yeah, Riley Herbst was good in practice. Hocevar is getting paid back to that. But yeah, 15 guys have a bullseye on his back, don't they? Todd Gilliland's not good. This is not a Gilly track. I don't anticipate him being good. Fell off fast. He wasn't good on the short run. Not high. No Gallivers today. Alex Bowman, he's merely a tester for whatever is going to happen at Hendrick. That's what, like, it's not going to be Alex Bowman. Could you imagine Alex Bowman going out there and winning the race? Like, that's not going to happen. So, okay, well, maybe it is a Gilly track. I don't pay attention to Gilliland. But he did not look good in practice. So if it is a Gilly track and you can fade him, I would do that. Ryan Priest. This is a Ryan Priest type track. I thought he looked good in the middle of the run, and he could be good. Just you spend so much energy getting up to the front. Gillen was 10th here in the spring. All right, everybody. Go ahead, take your shots with Gillen. He looks like trash. Let me see how I thought he looked in the spring. Now I got to pull this up. Oops. Let's see how Gillen looked in the spring. I can't even find him. My eyes are going. I need glasses. Well, Gillen looked terrible in the spring. In practice. So I don't know. Maybe he'll be good. I had Gilly in my top 11 in the spring. No way. Less banking is better for Gilliland. All right, whatever. It's my last poll. I can say whatever I want. All right, now I'm all frazzled here. Alex Bowman. We know he's gonna be testing for Penske. Ryan Preece, a good track for him, but you got to spend so much energy. You got to be so fast to work your way up to the field. I don't know that I see it out of him. But in the long run, he could be good. In the long run. No, we have not discussed why it's the last poll yet. I got a few things. I got like the best race I ever had, the worst race I ever had. I remember those specifically. My first race, all that stuff I'll talk about here at the end. Brad Keselowski. Where is Bad Brad? I haven't even like thought about him this week. Oof. So Brad was not good on the short run. He may have waited to go out. Did Brad wait to go out? I think in the long, he's gonna have to be good in the long run because he was not good in the short run. But he may have waited to go out. That would make more sense because he is not good at all in the short run. So long run, maybe Austin Dillon. Where is Dillon? Is he in Group A or where is Austin Dillon? Is he Ty Dillon? Oh, Austin Dillon. Actually, he pitted not terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I expect him to be bad. He was decent. He was better than I don't think he was crap. I would say he pitted. So I guess if you're gonna have that count against him, but he did run some solid laps like in the like kind of late, like lap 45, 46 were I'm on par with Riley Herbst, who was really good, along with Josh Berry. So anyway, I don't hate Dillon. I also have no opinions. Bubba Wallace, arguably the best car in practice. He's the only guy that I bet. I took some 30-1 on him right at the opener. This is a good track for him. I know that 23 team is confident. And how big of a like screw you would it be if he went out there and won this week and he could go to his boss, Denny Hamlin, and say, had you not wrecked me at Kansas, I'd be in the finals. So Keith got some 33. Yeah, I just think I'm taking a little bit of a chance with him starting deep, but this is a good track for him. He can work his way up through the field. It's win or go home. Like he doesn't care. So I like Bubba. He was good in the short run and good in the long run. You know, there was the 11, the 24, and the 9, I think are the other best cars. Picking one of those guys of who's the best is going to be really hard. You're also talking about William Byron's 3-1. Denny Hamlin is 6-1. Chase Elliott kind of 6-1-ish. And then you have Bubba, who I feel like is one of those cars at 33-1. So I do think that it's worth a sprinkle there. Yeah, I mean, I think it would just be Hamlin's car fired just now in a pre-race check. Okay. I like Bubba. SVG. Where is SVG? This was not a good car in the short run, but they figured it out late. I don't know when SVG is going to be good. I just don't know. Zane Smith. Zane was not good in the short run, not good in the long run. Fell off a ton. John Hunter Nemechek. Not a lot of short run speed. I guess held on a little bit, but that might be because he was so slow early in the run. Riley Herbst. He looked good. Take a stab. I mean, is there still some top 10, 27-1? I don't think he finishes in the top 10, but if you're going to go based on lap times in practice, he was very solid. He looked as good as Josh Berry, maybe as good as Michael McDowell. There you go. I think you could say Riley was decent. Take a shot with Riley Herbst. That would be my shot in the dark top 10er. Do I think he's going to finish in the top 10? No, I don't. But given the right scenario, some track position, he's going to be hard to pass. So Yeah, top 15 would be great. Top 15 would be great. Ty Dillon. Let's see, Ty. No, not happy with Ty. Lots of pitting. I mean, Josh Berry was really good. We know that. I don't think it's any secret, but he also could be the first guy out of the race. He needs long runs. He's not going to be picking up spots in the first 20 or 30 laps. It's going to be, yeah, Riley gets a gold star. Yeah, the top 20 markets, those were nice. Jimmy Spencer says so, or says no. He'll be lap before the end of stage 1. Okay, all right, let's Eric Jones. Let's see, where is Eric Jones? Lots of fall off. Not a Jones. I don't like Jones today. Chris Buescher was also pretty bad. I thought Chris Buescher was pretty bad relative to the guys he was racing with. I thought that, he looked worse than like Justin Haley, and a little worse than like even Daniel Suarez. So not good. Speaking of Daniel Suarez, he looked a little better than Chris Buescher, but I can't see Suarez running up through the field. He's pretty much has to have moved on, I would imagine. Ryan Blaney, terrible. I mean, maybe a little bit of long run speed, but man, he's looked way better in the past. Whatever that bullshit I was doing last year where I'm like, Ryan Blaney can't win. That is not what I'm talking about today. Not what I'm talking about. That is the truth. I don't think Ryan Blaney is going to be good. I think he's off. He's off. And if I had any stones, I'd fade him across the board. But he might be. Suarez might be the best among Trackhouse. Yeah, there is I'm looking at the times, and he looks terrible. But I've been wrong before. Maybe he clicks into it. Here's the thing: we're gonna know real early whether Ryan Blaney is good or not, because as deep as he's starting, he's gonna be on it. And if he can't make passes, it's over for this 12 team. Yeah. So it's not going to be a secret. 6-1 is so short, and I have no stones to fade him just because he's been so good to me the last couple of years at this track. Yeah, they'll make adjustments. Yeah, of course they'll make adjustments. But, man. Anyway, Ricky Stenhouse, a decent, I guess. I don't know. He pitted, so that's kind of tough. AJ Allmendinger, I thought he'd qualify way better. He was decent in practice. This is a dinger type track. I don't know. You want to take a flyer on him at, he was good in the short run, but bad in the long run. So if they figure out that long run and Dinger just kind of does his Dinger thing, he could get up there. But if you're that good on the short run and you qualify 33rd, you have a problem. I know Hamlin is -110 versus Blaney. I am aware. Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's a bet. I mean, you got to, how do you not take that? You have to take that. That bet should be -170. But matchups have just been so hard, I feel like, these last few weeks. Well, maybe this whole year. I haven't played much. I used to all I played was matchups. Now I'm playing mostly outright. It's kind of crazy how much the ebbs and flows of NASCAR betting. Justin Haley, Noah Gragson, Cody Ware, Casey Mears. Yeah, I got nothing on any of these guys. So top 10. Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Chase, Elliott. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I think I'll throw Logano in there. Yeah, so the top 4 cars, Byron. Oh, man, I'm gonna have to do this a different way. The top 4 cars are Byron, Chase, Hamlin, Bubba. Let's throw Reddick in there. I think Josh Berry could get in the top 10. Tyler or I already said Tyler Reddick. Yeah, that's a weird top 10. I think a lot of different drivers could get in there. Maybe there's some. I think Priest could get in there. Who are the top 10ers I'm missing? I like Bubba top 10. Who Byron, Larson, Logano, Hamlin, Chase, Elliott. I mean, Bubba, Reddick. Priest or Herbst? Who do you like better? I trust Priest more. Herbst has a better price. Yeah, I agree with Young Money bets here. I think 5 or 6 cars stood out in practice, and everyone else looked close to the same. Yeah, I guess I would just. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, the Busch for old. Yeah, I'll throw Kyle Busch in there. Yeah, let's see Kyle Busch in there for old time's sake. I mean, Kyle Busch has won me more money than any other driver, I think. Probably because we used to be able to bet on him in Xfinity and trucks, and he used to be 3-1 in Xfinity, right? Like racing and Gibbs equipment, Kyle Busch, he'd be in like the 18 and be 3-1. Briscoe, yep, he's good at keeping track position. He might just hang out there all day. Yeah, I would agree with that. He did not look good in practice, but he could hang out up there. My pick to win is probably going to be Denny Hamlin with, obviously my biggest win would be Bubba. My only win would be Bubba. But I think it comes down to, I think Hamlin and Chase Elliott are going to kind of be 1-2 if Byron ever loses track position. But if someone doesn't go up there and take it from Byron, he will be up there all day long. So. Yeah, crazy to hear that Kyle Busch is like the guy I've made the most money on. Well, a lot of that is because, I mean, the first race I went to, I remember the first race I went to was at Phoenix. I bet Jimmy Johnson at plus 225 to win. And that was like, I'll never forget the first time I saw the cars go around. I'm like, whoa, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. And it was on the old surface. It was so loud. It was awesome. And that was 2009. It was my first NASCAR race. And I mean, I've been to probably 20 Phoenix races since then. The first like actual season I started betting, Jamie McMurray won the Daytona 500. This is back when I remember how much money I made. I made $248 betting on Jamie McMurray to win the Daytona 500. And you would have thought I was a trillionaire after that race. That $248. I mean, who would have thought that over the next 15 years, because of that race, I would watch every practice and every qualifying in every series for the next 15 years. And that's what I've done. Every practice and qualifying. Yeah, we bought a couch a while ago. Every practice and every qualifying for, the last 15 years of every series, not just the Cup Series. And it's been a blast. But it's been harder. It's gotten harder. Yeah, it ended up, it's, yeah. You quitting, Todd quit his pod. Yeah. Well, it's hard because I don't know that people want to sponsor podcasts that are actually sharp. So that's been very difficult. And I think that, I don't know where content goes. I did not get a job with a NASCAR team. No, not with NASCAR. So I signed a contract with a company that I used to work for up here to run their Canadian division. So it's back in the hair industry. It's sales. And I don't know many people that like started a business that have this side hustle that eats up like 25 hours a week or 30 hours a week. And so I kind of got to set it aside and go hard at this. Now, who knows? Maybe it won't be the last pre-race pull. But until something gets sponsored, there's I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just time consuming, just betting the sport. I'll probably start off betting next year a little bit. But I'm just going to kind of keep it to myself. The limiting of, betting has been very difficult. No one wants sharp action. No one wants sharp action. I will say this, the only place Jeff Benson will take it, right? But he's only at Circa. And no one wants to sponsor a podcast that's sharp. Like, no one wants to do that. So, no, I didn't have a bad year. I didn't have as good a year as I did last year, but we've been limited and it's getting much harder to get down. Yeah, I thought about doing a membership option. To be honest, I'm going to be working a lot. And I don't think that I could charge for what I'd be able to give you. Like, I'm going to be working a lot. Like, the goal is to work hard at this for 5 or 10 years and then maybe come back and start doing the pull again. So go work, make enough money, get this business set up to where it kind of operates itself, and then maybe come back and do this. But I gave it I tried as hard as I could for 3 years. I did the show. Shout out to Matt Stolnick. I doubt he's watching, but I sent him a direct message a long time ago, 4 years ago, maybe. And said, "Hey, I have some concerns about NASCAR betting," and he took a phone call, and I ended up reaching out to NASCAR. And that first year, NASCAR sponsored the podcast for Todd and I, and they paid us well, and it was a good deal. And it kind of started something like, oh man, maybe this will work. Maybe there is a place for me to have a living creating NASCAR content and betting NASCAR. I thought that was a real option. And year 2 came around and they said that they wanted to do the podcast and then we'd get paid again. And we did 2 podcasts, and all of a sudden NASCAR pulled the rug out from under us and said, we're not going to continue. After we had agreed, we hadn't signed, but we had agreed to do the podcast again. And we were told that there was funding. And, so that hurt. That was like, and we still did the podcast because, Todd had the deal. We were still getting paid. And so it was okay. And we still did it for a while, but then Bet the Board, we were giving away a lot of information. I think we kind of changed NASCAR betting, if I'm completely honest. When it comes to how the week progresses, betting, what you bet before practice and qualifying, what you bet after practice and qualifying. I feel like, thank you to Todd for doing this because, but we changed things, and odds are sharper, dude. Odds are tighter. And yeah, this is a bummer. It's a bummer. I look forward to this. I like doing it. People ask what I do for a living, and I'm like, for the last 5 years, I was just like, man, I drink and talk about NASCAR with my friends. How great is that? But I just got to be realistic. And I just do not see a way to make the kind of money I want to make doing this. But, I'm sure that there will be a pre-race show in some manner moving forward. I think that whether Dirty Mo does it, they have a huge platform. I do, but there's people that want to do pre-race shows. It's not just me. There's other people in this NASCAR community that I think that would not say, hey, I would step aside and let Chris Wormy do the pre-race show. I don't see that happening. Yeah, call Dale Jr. right now. Yeah, we got another beer to finish, so we got time. I don't know. I don't think I can make the kind of money I need to make up here. Like, I gotta go back to work. It sucks, but And the only reason I don't do it is because, to be honest, I'm going to be working like 7 days a week. But I have a real opportunity to make a lot of money, and maybe I retire again in 5 years, and maybe betting is completely different. Maybe the car is different. And yeah. So we'll see. It's getting hard to get down. Yeah. Yeah, the lines are bad. I think that you look at the high line betting, you look at Ryan Stevens at Win the Race, you look at Nuke the House. And I think myself and Todd, we've kind of helped odds makers, and that's okay. Yeah, 7 guys under 10-1. That's crazy. I remember specifically a race when the favorite at Michigan was 10-1, and there were 5 guys at 10-1. And I thought, man, this is going to be great for a long time. But it's just changed, and I don't have any hard feelings. It's a bummer that I don't get to do this. Oh, of course they use our sites. Thanks, Pavel. I don't see. It's crazy to see people. I didn't even know that we're on here. I mean, I can see we have 288 people. But Jacob's kind of seen it firsthand. He's helped me kind of get down, and we've definitely won some money. So I was trying to think. So my best race ever. Can anyone think of their best race? My best race ever. It was one of 2 races. Remember when Larson won by like 10 seconds? Or no, he didn't win by 10 seconds. It was a late race restart, and he beat Truex. That was like 2022 Homestead. That was my best race. Or maybe that was my best race. That was that, and then when Truex won at the Clash. Those were the 2. Those are the 2 races where it was like, whoa, man, this is crazy. My worst race, no one will know this, but my worst race was when Kurt Busch won at Kansas by a lot. Like a lot. I lost my absolute ass that race. Oh my gosh. And it wasn't on Kurt Busch winning. Like it was a matchup that I just had way too much on. Yeah, Truex Clash, I had 22 and 16. Yeah, that was the worst. But to get back to the NASCAR thing, so then Todd and I continued to do the podcast because we still had sponsorship. It just wasn't the same. NASCAR was taking good care of us, and it was worth our time to do it. And then to kind of get the rug pulled out from underneath us was a bummer. But the end of last year, I got a phone call saying that NASCAR wanted me to do more stuff for them. And we shot like a pilot. We went to like production meetings. We actually did. It was for this race last year. We did a podcast. Spent a lot of time on it. Just basically a stay green type show for NASCAR that would have been I don't know what platform it was going to live on, but there was I had a co-host, and we shot this show. And I was told that it was liked and well received. And then I was told that they were going to potentially license the pre-race poll. And I was excited. I'm like, oh man, this is going to work. I'm actually going to somehow pull this off to create content for NASCAR. And great to see their 1 unit max risk. And I thought I was going to make it work. And then all of a sudden, I never heard from NASCAR again. And that was it. They just said that they weren't going to do gambling content. And I kind of was pigeonholed into gambling, right? Everyone just has known me as the guy that bets NASCAR, and that's I don't know. I don't know if it's like frowned upon in the NASCAR world, or they don't want to get too close, or they're worried that I'm going to say something or do something that I don't know, shouldn't be. I don't know. I have no idea what they're afraid of. But so I kind of told NASCAR, hey, I don't have to do betting content. Betting content is way harder to do than just average content. Like if you were to just talk about NASCAR, that's way easier to do that than it is to actually put the betting lens on it. Yeah. I'm guessing you're rooting for Denny to win. Yeah, I've never said anything bad really about NASCAR. Everything that I've said is just true. It's not. I want NASCAR to succeed. I've kind of I've written out like a really long tweet, like a thread that I might post this week, and just about what NASCAR should be doing. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. But what NASCAR is missing, and I'll say this. Yep. Thanks, Ryan. Peace out. What NASCAR needs is they need a Pat McAfee, or they need a Paul Bissonnette. And I wanted to be that. I was willing to be that person, kind of the clown, but also knew what they were talking about, but entertaining, give their pick, and do a pre-race show for NASCAR. That's ultimately what I wanted to do. That's actually my sweet spot, in my opinion, would be, yeah, the betting thing is great. That's just a background. That's just like justification for them, or rationalizing, like, hey, we can actually put this guy on the air. But I would love to. I sure, shirt off, tank top, standing. You want me to run in the crowd? Like if we're at Talladega, I would want to have a mullet on, a cutoff, like flannel shirt, cowboy boots, and short jean shorts. Like I would sit there and do that on the pre-race show. And when someone said, if Kyle Petty said something stupid, I would say that's a terrible take. But this is just grab assy on all these shows. Like, oh, that's a great point. No, it's not. Sometimes it's not a great point. Sometimes Jeff Burton does not make a good point. And I want to sit there and say that, like, hey, that was not a good point. It would be really hard to give Letard a hard time because he's pretty smart and he's right about a lot. But there's no personality in NASCAR, and everyone just kind of falls in line. I don't know who's the personality in NASCAR. Who's the personality in NASCAR? There's none. Old guard NASCAR, yeah. Listen, I love Pockrass. I love the Glucks. I love it's so important. I love Cavanna. Like all those, they're just way different. Yeah, to be honest, Denny is the guy. Denny is the guy. Dale Jr. is the guy, but they still have sponsors. They kind of fall in line a little bit. Denny is the one guy outside of, that definitely will speak his mind. But yeah, I think it's a huge void in NASCAR content. And the other thing too, they want to get younger people. You better have someone that's entertaining that can talk about betting. You have to. And they don't. They have a former crew chief, Steve Letarte, talking about betting. Is he qualified to do that? Yes, he is. Does he speak the betting language? No, he does not. And he doesn't stick his neck out there and say, this is a good bet. Yeah. NASCAR, yeah, I agree. Kyle Busch would be big. Also bringing back, race day would be awesome. Easy money with easy. I don't even know who those people are. Yeah, you need Carl Edwards involved. Yeah, that would be good. It's just a lot of work. And you know what? Maybe down the line there is something for me. I don't know. But right now it's just I couldn't do this show and work full time. So I want to make sure that this is still considered sharp. I want to like, I don't want to roll in here and be like, I don't know what happened in the Xfinity race. Can someone let me know? I want to be informed. And if I were giving out picks, it would not be the same. It would not be the same. And I'm not doing it professional. Well, I mean, if you make money, you do it professionally. That's the deal. So I would say most of the people on here have made money. I'd go out on a limb and say 80% of the people that listen to this show every week make money. Not every week make money, but at the end of the year, make money betting NASCAR. You're all considered pros. So yeah, you don't get a good look. And when I went on Letart's show, they thought that you could just bet whatever you want. I remember telling them, they're like, well, kind of off the air. They're like, so what do you bet? And I kind of let them know. And they're like, wait, you can't just go bet like $2,000 on a matchup in Vegas? I was like, no. Like maybe one place if you're at Circa, but Superbook ain't taking that action anymore. So to kind of let these people know that you can't just bet like that. Maybe it'll be more popular if you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I went on Letart's show for it was Dirty Modo Nashville of 2023. Yeah, the Dirty Mo, that's they know a lot about NASCAR. They didn't know a lot about betting. Yeah, you need a personality. It's never seen your message board move. Yeah, I know. A lot of people. It's great to see. And the other thing too is, I don't have a lot of followers, but I have a lot of people that are here every single week, like Mac, Rowdy, Young Money, Racer Wrestling. I mean, Nigel, all these people, Ross, Big Ross. Like everyone knows Big Ross. He's on here and he participates and he's a big part of the show every week. Same with Brian. Same with everyone kind of has this. I'm not going to say Ryan Booth. Ryan's a very small part, almost like the downside of the show. If I had to say, yeah, everyone shows up for the funeral. I will not be active on social media either. It's going to be hard, but I will be working a lot of Sundays. That's just the way that this works. I'll probably see just, I'll probably see what happens in the first couple races. But yeah, I maybe I'll randomly go live if I have a weekend off and I'm not being, if I have a weekend off and I'm watching a race, maybe I'll hop on and go live, but I won't know anything. I put in a lot of work to make sure that I know what I'm talking about, but it's been hard. And now that I've signed this deal, it was a good deal. If I wouldn't have taken it if it wasn't a good deal. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Brian. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a good ride. And maybe it's not over, but until I get paid to do it, and you kind of have to, I will be selling and sharpening scissors for hairstylists. That is, I am really good at walking into salons and selling stuff. So, and I'm a really good shear sharpener. And so I was given the contract for Canada. So I took it. Whenever you're given the contract for an entire country, you take it. I feel like that was written down by someone, maybe Michael Scott. So, and then, yeah, I still have the hair product company in the States. That's just a ginormous pile of, never mind. But yeah, you can buy atlashair.com. But yeah, be walking into salons, selling scissors. And it's a good deal. It's a crazy big business that no one knows about. I don't have a ton of competition here in Vancouver. So, yeah, you need to get your cologne. Yeah, we're working on that. Cologne is flammable, so it's a real pain in the ass to ship. So, oh yeah, I'm staying sharp. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. And you do a lot of cutting classes on Sundays and Mondays. So I'm actually heading off next week. I gotta go. Um, yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously reach out. I'm on social media. I don't know how much I'm gonna be on, but it's gonna be hard next year for sure when just not watching a race because I've gone I've gone 15 years watching every race and like live betting every race. So um yeah, thanks. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Big Ross, obviously. Yeah, this is well, and maybe there's a big kerfuffle over this being the me being, and then I don't know, maybe Dale Jr. If Dale Jr. calls me personally and asks me to do a show, we can have that conversation. But I don't know who's going to get that phone call because everyone at Dirty Mo is very aware of who I am. But the people at Dirty Mo that are aware of who I am are trying to further their careers as well. And I don't blame them. They don't want to say, hey, we actually have this guy over here that would be good. Um, that's just not the case. So, um, yeah, start a riot. Yeah, what we need is a peaceful protest outside of Dirty Mo headquarters. Also, someone with some talent should go through and watch all the pre-race polls and put together a little reel of all the stupid shit that was said on here or all the drunk stuff that was said. Like, because there's been some hilarious comments. There's been some very funny moments on here, and it would be funny if it was cut up and put up. So I don't know. Anyone can do that. You can steal my stuff, and it'd be funny to see like the best ofs or the worst ofs or some of my terrible calls. Like, I mean, I've had some terrible calls. Even Chastain a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, pounding. Yeah. To you should be pounding Eric Jones today. Mostly peaceful protests. Yeah. Yeah. When the mic stand fell. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other, but we've also had some big races. That Larson, when he went off at 8-1 at Homestead, I just remember being like, this looks like the fastest car I've ever seen. Austin Cindric. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by Austin Cindric, but Kendall, thanks for hopping on. Hopefully you won your fantasy. There's a few people that message me every day or every week. Larson at Iowa this year. Yeah, that was I was shocked. Hot Guy Pod was a good episode. Yeah. We've had some good ones. Well, it's like that Office. I like The Office. You wish someone were to tell you when you're in the good old days, when you're actually in them, but so yeah, this was the good old days, the 3 years I took to try to make it in the NASCAR content space. Who's the next Jimmy Johnson? Yeah, I ended William Byron's career. Roger, that's a good point. Me trying to pronounce bookie. Yeah, that Perry, it's great. Yeah, I ruined William Byron's career by calling him the next Jimmy Johnson. I don't think he's won a race. Like he's won one race since maybe. But yeah, I still got a whole beer here that I'm gonna plan on finish. So, any questions about anything? Yeah, no, this has been great. Yeah. The Blaney curse. Yeah, it lives. I mean, the last 2 damn years, we've had him at like 30 and 60 to 1 to win the championship. He's been the best car and he hasn't won. It's like I am now a Canucks fan. Yeah, I grew up a Red Wings fan, but I still am a Michigan football fan, a Lions fan, a Tigers fan, but I'm definitely I've given up the Red Wings and I will be a Canucks fan. But not until the playoffs. Come on, let's be honest. Yeah, I know. Blaney will win at Phoenix. It just he won't be he won't be the champion. I cursed Jared Goff at some point too. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough a couple years ago with the Niners and last year with the Redskins. It's been brutal. Yeah, thanks, Highline. I appreciate it. Yep, it was good. And you got to meet a lot of cool people. Like I've become pretty good friends with a lot of the people on here. Highline's one of them, and kind of navigating this betting space and trying to monetize it. And do you charge? Like, I don't know what if I did the pre-race poll. Let's just say for people that paid, what do you pay? What do I charge a month for the pre-race poll? That's worth it. I just don't know that. It depends on how much you're betting. If you're a $20 better, you're not going to want to spend the kind of money that I would need to charge in order to do this. Like an OnlyFans pull, yes. Like a shirt off OnlyFans pull. I just don't know. What do you charge? Yeah, if I did, yeah, if I did, it would be like on a locals or something like that where it would be. I would. The problem is I'd have to. It's just hard because here's what would happen. I've had in the past where I've sold picks like I would only let 20 people do it. They paid X amount of dollars. The lines move so fast and then they link your accounts. So I don't care about angry people when my bets lose. That I've been giving bets away to people for 15 years. Like I it's impossible to sell picks in NASCAR. You can do it. Like even Right Angle Sports has a hard time with their subscribers getting the same lines, Um 30 to 1 went to 15 to 1 off $100 today. Yeah, it's just a fragile market. If this the crazy thing is, I was talking to a buddy about this last night. And maybe someone should do this. I wanted to do this. I don't have the time to do this, but if I were wanting to get into the content space in NASCAR, I think there's a very simple thing you could do, and it would be 20 minutes a day, but it would be called Today in NASCAR. And you would just talk about the NASCAR news, and you would develop some opinions, but a lot of the times it'd be like, hey, Jeff Gluck is reporting this. Here's what I think. Bob Pockrass is reporting this. Here's what I think. Interesting take by Trotta on this. Here's what Larry Mack said on, and it's just 20 minutes, but it has to be every day. You do it at 8 a.m. every day, and you would get a huge following if you just did NASCAR Today. Like I think that would be a great thing. I couldn't do it. Like if someone came to me and paid me a bunch of money, I could do that. But you have to be really good at doing live streams, and this is way different than a podcast. I am not afraid of someone stepping in to do a poll and being like, "Oh, this guy's better than Worm." I just don't think people, when it comes to understanding practice, I don't think anyone understands practice. Maybe Big Ross is pretty good. Brian's pretty good. Like there's some people on here that understand practice, but I think that when it comes to articulating yourself in a live stream format is much different than it is in having a conversation back and forth with someone. So, yeah, but Joey, what are you going to pay? Like I would need to make my opportunity cost is high in the business world. That's the problem. And I got a kid, and I live in a place where the house next door is I don't want to call it a dump, but it's still sold for $1.5 million. Like I got to make a lot of money. And when I was single living in Scottsdale, yeah, I could live off of betting and a few content dollars here and there. Like, it was good when limits were higher. I also had way higher limits 2 years ago than I have now. Like, I could get $15,000 down on a race 2 years ago. I'm lucky if I have $2,000 on a race this week. Like, it's really hard to do. Yeah, Big Ross has actually, I think Big Ross, aren't you like ripped and holding a fish? Like, Big Ross might be a stallion. He's been on the show before. Yeah, NorCal guy. But yeah, I'm sure someone in the community will. I don't know that you'll ever have the pull, but you'll definitely have you changed it. Oh man, Big Ross was at one point ripped. He might have been misleading us. He might not be ripped anymore. But I'm interested to see if I can just be a fan of NASCAR. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can be. I'm still pretty jacked. I don't know if I can be a fan. You know, my favorite thing in the world is taking someone that's never been to a NASCAR race to a NASCAR race. If I could get paid to do that, and I've pitched this to NASCAR, I've pitched going to every race and creating content to NASCAR, and nothing. Randomly drunk text me to say hi. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I changed my number, Troy. Yeah. Yeah, content's tough. And to be honest, no one wants to sponsor Sharp stuff. That's the deal. If you're Sharp, no, they don't want to do it. They won't touch it. So, maybe I take a step back for a few years, get this business going, and then maybe get back, but not do the betting stuff. Yeah, it was great. And I'm still going to go to races. I'm not going to just not watch NASCAR. You don't go from betting and watching every practice qualifying for it's 100 races a year essentially between all three series, or almost 100. I mean, that's 3 practices a weekend, 3 qualifyings a weekend that I've watched. So it's going to be really hard to just fall off the face of the earth. Yeah, you want to go to a PGA tournament? Yeah, I can. That I have hookups on. I'm only going to watch Daytona and I promise you this. I will watch the last few laps of both of those races. Yeah. Yep. Caden didn't win. It got too annoying. How bad will the NASCAR betting withdrawals be come Darlington spring next year? Yeah. It'll be hard. I mean, I guess let's look at I don't know the schedule for next year that well. Cup Series schedule. I mean, I think the race for sure, not for sure. The race I'm planning on going to, yes, I am planning on going to San Diego. And I am planning on going to Chicago. Those are the 2 races I plan on going to. Yeah, I'm sure Jacob, you'll be there. Low key, Jacob and I talk a lot. He's been great for me to help me get down on bets. So I appreciate that. Your friendship, man, we made some money. We've made some money. That's for sure. Homestead for the championship. Maybe it's just, this is really far away from Vancouver. If you've ever seen a map, Miami and Vancouver are not close together. So, but Chicagoland that's a great racetrack. The last time I went there, David Rudiman ran down, I want to say Gordon and Edwards in one, which was just, I watched David Rudiman win a race there. That's how crazy that was. So yeah, those are the two races I'm thinking about going to. The tracks I want to go to, like I still want to go to every track. You know, there's at some point in my future, I want to go to every race in a year. I want to, maybe when I retire or whatever. Hopefully that's not too long. But I'd love to go to every race. I think that'd be fun. Go to all 36 races. Yeah, Texas is not high on my list. Dover's very high on my list. Bristol's very high on my list. Martinsville is very high on my list. I'm trying to think of, let's see, other tracks I've been to. Bowman Gray, no. Daytona, yes. Never been to Coda. Never been to Atlanta. Been to Phoenix. Been to Vegas. Never been to Darlington. Would like to go to Darlington. Never been to Martinsville. Never been to Bristol. Never been to Kansas. Never been to Talladega. Never been to Texas. Never been to Watkins Glen. Never been to Dover. Been to Charlotte. Been to Nashville. Been to Michigan. Never been to Pocono. Been to Sonoma. Been to Chicago. Never been to North Wilkesboro. Been to Indianapolis. Never been to Iowa. Been to Richmond. Never been to New Hampshire. Funny story about New Hampshire. I was supposed to go, and it was kind of the end of a trip for my wife and I when we were, gosh, it was like 2021 maybe. And we were supposed to like fly in. I don't know where it was just going to be a drag to like get there. And then we're going to drive. It was just going to be a lot of work. So we just decided to fly home to Vancouver. And my wife said before we took off, and I didn't watch this race, she said, who would you bet? I was like, well, I don't know who's going to be good. We've been traveling a lot, but I would bet Eric Almirola 80-1. And whoops, he ended up winning the race, and I didn't bet him. Never been to Worldwide Technology, but yeah, I'd like to eventually get to all the tracks. Yeah, I'll definitely, when I go to a race, I'll definitely let people know on social media. I don't think I'm worth an unfollow. Do you imagine if I just lost all my followers? Like, I feel like most of my followers, I would say, are more super fans, not like you're fangirling, but we interact. Like, I'm pretty sure if someone sends me a message, I respond. If someone tweets at me that's on here all the time, I respond. I'll be honest and tell you what I think. Yeah, Bristol Edge. Yeah, unfollowed, blocked, and reported. I figured, yeah, you're so hooked after Homestead. Come on. We went to Homestead and crushed. Let's see, what do we have? We didn't go to Trucks, but that's when Larson Larson somehow beat Corey Heim at Trucks, and then we went to the Xfinity race and Cup practice. The Xfinity race, I just had Larson parlayed with Larson. And then we were at the track, and Ryan and I were boozing pretty hard. And I'm pretty sure that Brian was there as well, if I remember correctly. But I was pretty drunk, and then that's when I met Steven and I met Noel's Nick. We all had Larson pretty heavy. And to lose the Xfinity race when he had like a 17-second lead, and then to win Larson when Bowman kind of looked like he had it wrapped up was kind of funny. And then Ryan actually got to see my little sheet that I was showing someone. But yeah, so he looked at it. He stole a peek. So he's the one person that's seen what I have. Tap a keg. Looks like viewers are going up. Yeah. I got to work. Yeah, I didn't want to show. I was showing someone that I wanted to see what I do to give me credibility. And I saw Ryan peek his little head around to see what I have. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell this. Should I just sell my sheet that I use? It's like my brainchild of a that I have. Maybe I'll just sell that. Maybe I'll sell a lesser version of it. I know Jacob wants it. I mean, I've texted Jacob as much about NASCAR betting as I do anyone, and Jacob still hasn't seen it. I know he wants it, but this is my 15 years of tweaking. Yep, Nigel, cheers. Yeah, I got half a beer left, so I know we're running long, but I don't care. Yeah, I don't want to sell it because I know that odds makers would just buy it. You know, odds makers buy it, and then we're all screwed. So, C-Bell ain't winning today, Nigel. Sorry about that. Dime's probably not going to get it done. The last show, yeah, head to head with the NFL. I don't even know what the NFL is. The best bar in Florida, the best Denny's in the world. That's right. Yeah, we had just made a shit ton of money at this race, and we ended up at dinner at Denny's. Yep, CSC. Go fast, Troy. See ya. Yeah. No, I mean, $2 a month, maybe. Yeah, I kind of thought that there would be like this. What I really enjoyed about the pre-race poll is selfishly is that if I did it for a long time, there would be a catalog of my race predictions for the last 20 years. You know, that's what I thought would be I thought that'd be cool, is to have just this public prediction of every driver from every race for the last 20 years. I think that would have been really cool to have. Unfortunately, I'm just not gonna be able to do it. So, yeah, Keith, thanks for Dave. Appreciate it. Who knows? You know, like I said, if something comes up, I'm not gonna close the door completely, but I have no anticipation of doing it next year. So when we roll around, obviously I don't do it for super speedway racing, but when that clash rolls around in February, I'm not going to be around, and I will be betting. I will be betting. If you do see a big move somewhere, there's a good chance. There's a good chance that still might be me early in the season, because I do think early in the season is a little bit easier than late in the season. I think that odds makers have really catch up at a certain point, and I think that's just because a lot of the people that provide content online have really helped odds makers. So, when I'm someone, this is the stuff that I get messaged. I'm in a win or go home situation in fantasy. 11, 24, 9 are gone. Would you go 5, 23, or 22? I don't know how you get scored your points, but I would say if you want to be safe, I'd go 5. If you want to get lucky, I'd go 23. Yeah, everyone that has my number, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not quite sure what the content's going to look like moving forward. I don't know. Maybe this just being my last show, I'll get a bunch of offers. My opportunity cost the problem is I just got way more expensive after I signed this deal. That's the problem. Bubba is 10-1 at Westgate. I'll offer 10-1 right now, and I'll just take my. Anybody want some Bubba at 10-1? I'd love to sell you some Bubba at 10-1. No way. Bubba 8-1 at MGM? You got to be joking. That's so funny. Yeah, I'll give anybody 8-1 on Bubba. Top Ford. Yeah, Blaney is not going to be top Ford. What's Barry top Ford? I don't like Blaney top Ford. What's Barry to be top Ford? What's Priest? Interesting. Bubba, that's really short for Bubba. All right. Any last questions before I sign off? Priest is 17 at best. You bet US. That's worth a shot, in my opinion. Who's winning the championship? Dude, I think Chase Briscoe's going to win. Little man's doing great. I think Briscoe's going to win it. Joey, thanks for participating, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Drunk as Hull. Keith, thank you. It's 11 versus 19 if no Penske car. It is no, the 20. You can put the 20 in there if he gets in. It's the 20 versus the 11 if no Penske car. Wyatt, yeah, gonna miss you too, man. Thanks for always chiming in. Young Money. Thanks for always tuning in. Knowles Nick, obviously. If Briscoe wins, you'll sponsor me. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Denny's on a mission. That doesn't matter, Brian. Come on. We're not gonna end the show like that. After all these years we've been doing this, you're gonna send me away with Denny is on a mission? Are you nuts? That's not a thing. Oh my god, now I'm all upset. Dude, the 20 is gonna mop them if no Penske car gets in and they get in. The last sip. Second to last sip. Penultimate sip, if you will. It's been real. Johnny J, thank you. Cheers, boys. Peace.